Slovakia, I stopped it and started again because I don't want them to be too long because they take forever to upload. So kind of let me keep going. It says Job 33 and verse 1. It says, "Wherefore, Job, I pray thee, hear my speech, and hearken to all my words," man. It says, "Behold, now I have opened my mouth, and my tongue have spoken in my mouth. My words shall be of the uprightness of my heart, and my lips shall utter knowledge clearly," man. It says, and that's one thing that you'll know. If you're talking to a man of the Lord, man, it'll be clear, man. You see what I'm saying? And a messenger, I've noticed with messengers, either, and I say messengers very lightly, man, but if I receive some sort of message, man, it's gonna be either super parabolic and they want me to like to figure it out myself, or it's gonna be something really straightforward. And if it's straightforward, then it's usually like a warning, you know what I'm saying? But if it's parabolic, it's something like, you know, like kind of like read and find out yourself, man. See what I'm saying? And typically I do, and then what they say lines up perfectly with the scriptures, and then I go see a brother's video, and then brother's putting out, you know, lots of videos on the topic. So I know, I'm like, oh man, you know, like that's how I know that this camp, you know, that I'm in is in a spirit, man. Because every time a brother goes into a topic, every other brother goes into the same topic without even hearing it, you know what I'm saying? So that's how I know that it's one body, man, and everybody's in the spirit, man. But keep going. Verse 4, it says, "The spirit of Yahawah hath made me, and spirit of YAHAWASHI hath made me, and the breath of the Almighty have given me life," man. See what I'm saying? If thou canst answer me, set thy words in order before me, stand up. And I feel like that right there, man, I don't know why that's sticking out to me right now. It says, "If thou canst answer me, set thy words in order before me, and stand up," man. It says, "Behold, I am according to thy wish in the Most High stead. I am formed out of the clay," man. See what I'm saying? So we're formed out of the clay, man. So we're according to the Most High's wish as well, man. So our goings are of the Lord, man. See what I'm saying? We do everything according to what He desires, man. See what I'm saying? Because that's why He made us, man. If you made an object and it was doing opposite of what you designed to do, you would really just want to throw it away, man. If you had a cell phone and it wasn't acting right, most people would just throw it away, man. But you know, the Most High has mercy, man. See what I'm saying? See what I'm saying? That's why it's on a different level than what we can understand when He sees His creations acting out of their order, man. You got to think from the perspective of a creator, not just from the perspective of a being that's able to reproduce, man. See what I'm saying? If you see two men acting in lust toward each other, or two women acting in lust toward each other, or not acting according to what He designed them to do, when He designed them to do these things, and of course if He looks upon it, He wants to see it, you know, and you're not acting the way that He designed them, man. If you saw birds just dragging themselves across the ground, you'd be like, you know, what the heck, man? You know what I'm saying? That's what the Most High sees on a higher level than what we see, man. He sees them acting out of order, man. They're basically broken, man. He sees broken, man. He doesn't see just disobedience. He sees broken, man. So it's really mercy what he's doing, man. But yeah, man, we're formed out of the clay, man. So just keep going, man, because I don't want to take too much time here. It says Job 33 and verse 14, it says verse 13, it says, "Why dost thou strive against him? For he giveth no account of any of his matters. For the Most High speaketh once, yet twice, yet man perceiveth it not," man. So it's hard, man. So in a dream, in a vision of the night, when deep sleep falleth upon men, and slumbering upon a bed, then He openeth the ears of men, and stilleth their instructions, man. Then that He may withdraw man from his purpose, and hide pride from man, man. And I'm gonna go into another story about a vision when I was awake, man, and I ended up on a chariot, man. You see what I'm saying? So, and then shortly after, I saw a video of another brother talking about his experience, and it was the exact same experience that I had, man, which was the spirit, man. That's how I said, that's how I know I'm in the right place, man. But let me keep going, man. So yeah, man. So basically, the Most High still left instructions, man, and he puts visions in your head. You know, when you're upon your bed, man. See what I'm saying? That's one of the ways that he sends messages, man, and doesn't necessarily have to be by words, because each of, like, you gotta understand, from Esau's perspective, there's like so many emotions. You know, he can name them all on one hand. You know what I'm saying? Like, each like he'll say, like, you know, you have anger, sadness, happiness, depression, blah blah blah. But in the spiritual realm, it's much deeper than that. It's way more complex, man. See what I'm saying? Each there's so many emotions, man, and each emotion is an expression or a word, man. So you can communicate without saying anything, man. See what I'm saying? And that's the only way that I can describe it to you. But of course, we have a tongue, you know, here in this realm or in this space, and it's an angelic tongue, man. So it's a tongue that translates from this realm to the spirit realm. You know what I'm saying? But in that realm, man, in that space, man, each emotion can be felt in a different way, and each one gives off a vibration that that sends a message, man. And you know what that person's exact, that by that feeling or that emotion, you know exactly what that person desires, what they want, what they're thinking. You know what I'm saying? And what you're trying to say to them. You know what I'm saying? What the message you're kind of trying to convey, man. That's the only way that I can describe it, you know, as far as in this realm's perspective, man. And that's one thing that when I realized, got me in trouble too, for other reasons. But let me keep going because I don't want to go too deep, man. It says, yeah, man. So continuing on this vision, man, because this is where it gets kind of crazy, man. Not vision, but on this experience. So when I got to the bus stop, but I said the dark cloud, man. So yeah, the old man, he's sitting there, man, and he's not normal, man. I don't know. I don't know what's up with him, but he's clearly somebody special, man. You know what I'm saying? He doesn't say a word, man. He just smiles, man. But the crazier part is when another man comes up, man. You see what I'm saying? He comes up and he's on a bicycle, man, and it's raining. It's raining crazy outside. It's raining. When I say it's raining, it's raining cats and dogs, man. But he rolls up on a motorcycle, on a bicycle, gets to me, and then when I think about it, I don't even think he was wet, man. I'm like, I'm thinking in my head, like, now that I think back, I don't even think he got wet, man. But anyway, this is where the story gets kind of crazy, man. So he gets off he gets off the bike, man, and he talks to me, man. I think he has the scriptures, man, and like I can't remember all of it because it was so surreal what was happening, man. That it's kind of hard to remember the order that it happened in, man. But basically, he was talking to me, and he said something along the lines of, this is before I was in the truth. This is right before I came into the truth, man. He said something along the lines of, if you believe, you know what I'm saying, then if you believe, you know what I'm saying, and you read the scriptures, you know what I'm saying, and you believe the scriptures, and you believe in the Heavenly Father, man, then you'll be able to do great things, man. And he went on to show me some of these things, and after I saw them, I was like, okay. Immediately, of course, I had to go home and tell somebody. So right now, I'm at this point, I was living with relatives, you know what I'm saying, and these relatives were Jehovah's Witness, so they didn't. When I went home, they thought I was crazy. But basically, let me tell you what happened, man. So I'm at the bus stop, and he basically well, first he was smiling at me. He wasn't laughing, but he asked me if I knew who he was. I said, I don't know who you are. And when I said I didn't know who he was, he kind of smiled at me. I was like, okay, that's cool. Because I honestly didn't know who the guy was, man. But I just remember that I remember his face, man. His face. I know he was a messenger. I remember he had one of his eyes was I don't know if he had a bad eye. I don't remember, but I think one of his eyes was bad and the other one was good. And he just smiled at me, man, and he said, and he pointed to my forehead, and he I don't know, he put his finger on my forehead, and he said that something about like the information is in here. I'm telling you, like, I'm bad at this explaining stuff. But and then he went on to show me. He asked me how long do you want the rain to stop. And this is where it gets kind of crazy. So I was like, okay. And then he kind of like was impatient, man. He was like, how long do you want the rain to stop? I was like, I don't know, maybe 5 minutes. So what he did was, it was like, I tell you, it was raining cats and dogs, man. So he put out his hands, and then he looked like he was I think he was looking towards like the heaven. Well, first he clapped his hands. I'm gonna just say that he clapped his hands, man. He rubbed his hands again and he clapped his hands, and then he said, "Just wait for it, man." And I said, "Okay." So lo and behold, like I say, 10 seconds later, after a second clap, the rain stops, man. And then when the rain stops, it was raining cats and dogs. I'm telling you, it stopped abruptly, man. And when it stops, it gets even crazier, man. So the rain stops, and then I'm already baffled. I'm like, yo, like this dude's he's doing some crazy stuff, man. So he made the rain stop, point blank period. I don't know who the man was, but he made the rain stop. So obviously he had some sort of message that had to be delivered. So at this point, I'm already on board with whatever he has to say, because he made the rain stop. And then I put out my hand, and it's not raining, man. But the crazy part is that it wasn't raining only, I would say, like within, I say, like a 20-foot radius of this bus stop. So everywhere outside of a 20-foot radius of this bus stop was raining really hard. And when I tell you, like, it was raining like hard, like, but I could step out, like, it was crazy, man. It was crazy stuff, man. Then it got even crazier, man. You see, he pointed his finger to the sky, and he said, "Give me some lightning." And I was like, okay, yeah, this man, like, I didn't think he was crazy, because at this point, like, I've already seen a lot of crazy stuff, you know what I'm saying? Like, I've seen a lot of Yahawah, I've seen a lot of crazy things at this point, you know what I'm saying? And what I mean by that is through the spirit, through the grace of YAHAWASHI, throughout my whole life, I've seen like a lot of crazy things, but this definitely tops the cake. So I'm not surprised that he's doing what he's doing, but I'm surprised that he's doing what he's doing, because I've never seen anything to that magnitude, you know what I'm saying? So he points to the sky, and he says, "Give me some lightning, man." So he points to the sky, and then lightning appears where his finger is. And then he says, "Give me some over here now." And then he starts pointing his finger in different places, and everywhere he points his finger, lightning pops up. And I'm like, okay. So yeah, this man clearly knows information that I don't know. So I kind of want to know where he gets it from. And then the final thing that he did was he asked me, "When do you want the bus to come?" And I was like, okay. I was waiting at the bus stop. He said, "How long, man? Just give me a time, man." And then lo and behold, I gave him a random time, and the bus comes exactly when I asked him to have it come. So I just realized something. My bad. So continuing Salakia. Because it's a crazy story, man. Obviously at this point, I'm a little bit baffled. So he says one more thing that I don't know if I'm gonna say that here. I think I'm gonna wait later, because that's to like a different degree that I don't know if I can quite interpret it yet. So I'm gonna wait on that. But basically after that is when he basically pulls out the scriptures, and he says, "Yo, basically believe on the Father, and read and have faith, and you can do these things, man." And I said, "Oh wow, really?" Like not in like a sarcastic way, but like dead ass, you know what I'm saying? I was I was baffled, man. And he said, "When you go home, you won't get rained on." He said, you don't have to worry. When you go home, you won't get rained on." So I walked home, and when I went home, lo and behold, it was raining cats and dogs, but I didn't get one drip of rain on me, man. See what I'm saying? And that's one of the first stories that I can give you, basically my walk on the truth and what got me into the truth, man. Because he was the one that honestly directed me towards, the elders, man. And uh that was my first real experience, coming into the truth, man, as far as like a messenger, and then as I got into the truth, things just got crazier, I say visions, I say that was probably one of like the craziest things that happened to me, but visions increased, you know what I'm saying. I fell asleep one night, and I heard a voice like reading the scriptures, you know what I'm saying. And then another time, after I was like partially reading Revelations, I had a vision of basically the end, man, you know what I'm saying. And that was like one of the scariest things that happened to me, because all I remember is just red everywhere, man. And that was one of the crazier times. But let me go into this final vision, and then I'm gonna I might get two more, and then I'm gonna close it out, man, because I really rather just draw it out, man. But I'm gonna close it out, because I feel like I'm not tying in the scriptures as much as I should. So I might get some more scriptures and tie it out, man. Close it out, man. So the final one, I was in my bed, man, and this is another vision that I had when I was awake. So I'm in my bed, dozing off, but not quite. And as I'm laying there, you know what I'm saying, I feel this like pressure, you know what I'm saying, like it's like a pressure. I feel like something's like almost scanning me in a way, you know what I'm saying. And then shortly after that, like I try to keep my spirit inside of my body, or inside this vessel, and I was like, like I can't. I just gave in. I was like, I can't do it, man. So I was like, okay, whatever. I gave in, and I felt my spirit separate from my body, man. And then at this point, I'm suspended, so I'm suspended above my body, and I'm like, okay. At this point, obviously, it's well, I'm in the truth, man. So I've seen some crazy stuff so far, but this is a different type of crazy. So I'm suspended above my body, and then while I'm suspended above my body, I see certain actions or certain events take place around my body, because I can still see everything, even though my spirit is separated from my body. And I heard a voice say basically something along the lines of, "This is death." And then shortly afterward, my spirit ascended upward like really fast, and like in a blink of an eye, I was on a chariot. And I had two occasions where this happened, and so I'm kind of mixing them up a little bit. The first time I think this happened when I ended up on a chariot. I was in a chamber, and when I was in the chamber, it was like groups of people, and they were all like separated. And I don't know if they were separated because they were like for like certain reasons, but it seemed like they were all like flocks of people that either like Akim had like chosen or claimed, or things like along the lines of that. So you had like the elect, and then you had like their families and things like that. There was legit, all I can say is that everything was well organized, man. It was just like groups of people, but they weren't like, I would say they weren't freaking out, but they weren't calm either. They were almost like, I guess, relieved, but at the same, it was like a really weird situation. But they knew where they were, but not. It was like really weird. And I remember stepping out of the chamber, and beside me was a man taller than me, man. I think it was I believe it could have been a Lord, but I didn't quite see, because every time I end up seeing a Lord, I don't really see him, but I just like, I might like feel him, or like see his like garment, or like something like that. And he was like just explaining everything. And I think after that, like I stepped out of the chamber into like the hall, and that's when I realized that it was a chamber, because I saw like a lot of corridors. And then I came back into my body, and then the second time was the weirdest time, because when I ended up in a chariot, I woke up and I was on a table, and there was two people above me. And I remember jumping off the table, because like I was like, where like I knew I was like, part of me knew I was in a chariot, but like my I just felt like almost like I wasn't clean enough to be there, you know what I'm saying? So I jumped up, I see a woman, and like the woman's like mad, like she's crazy beautiful, and like something in me just like basically pounced on her. It was like almost like lust, you know what I'm saying? And like I'm running around this place, and then I run into almost like what looks like a kitchen. I don't know what it was. All I know is that everything was white, like like everything was white in there. Like it wasn't like a light. It was like just everything was white. Everything was sparkling white. Everything was so clean. And the a few more things happened there, but like I ended up waking up from that one again. But basically, when I came back into my body after being suspended for so long, because I remember I told you that I saw like a series of events go by while I was suspended. When I came back into my body, those things happened again, and I saw within like a 7-second span the same thing. Like I believe I saw like a relative come out of like a room, and then it was really weird. So when I was in the spiritual realm, it ended up happening. Like I guess like I saw it was before it happened when I was in my body. It was really weird. All I can say is it was a really weird experience. But then I ended up going online, and I saw that another Akim actually had the same experience. When I was watching a brother from I think who was it from the GMS Des Moines camp, and he was going into a vision that he had when he got basically pulled up into a chariot, and it was pretty like, but he's much better at describing things like that, and it was the exact same experience that I had, and I was like, call him like YAHAWASHI, because it's not just me that's having this experience. I'm pretty sure a lot of Akim are having like experiences like that, and especially as we get closer to the end, you know what I'm saying? But spirit was on me just to tell, you know, a little bit of these stories, because I know that we are getting closer to the end, and that I'm gonna have to start expounding on these things more, because the scriptures do say that when you have these things, you're supposed to reveal them for edifying sake, you know what I'm saying? So it won't be the last time, well, Yahweh Tazah, you know what I'm saying, unless I get taken out of this place, you know what I'm saying, that I pretty much expound on these things, because there is a lot more that I've seen, you know what I'm saying. I would say I've run into a lot of men of the Lord. I've seen certain brothers, you know, from different camps performing certain things, you know what I'm saying. I've seen the Lord, you know what I'm saying. I had a vision where he was crowning brothers, you know what I'm saying, and every brother had like a sword on his back, and each sword was like glowing with like a heavenly glow, and it had like its own shape unique to it was really weird, man. Let me just stop right there. I really gotta learn how to interpret these things, because I'm not really a storyteller. I'm more of an artist, you know what I'm saying, but art takes time too, so I gotta learn how to expound on these things. But the spirit hopped on me after seeing this video from the GMS LA camp. So yeah, man, hopefully that was edifying. Let me see if I can get any more scriptures here. And this is just go back on what I was talking about earlier, and then I'm gonna close it out. Actually, I'm gonna get verse. I want to get 12, and then I'm gonna go back up to 8. I'm gonna close it out on 8, man. It says, verse 11. It says, oh man, this is so much. Oh man. Okay, I'm gonna start at verse 11. Any man speak, let him speak as the oracles of the Most High. If any man minister, let him do it as of the ability which the Most High giveth. Man, it says that the Most High, that the Most High in all things may be glorified through Yahawashi Mashiach, to whom be praise and dominion forever and ever. Amen. Man, you see what I'm saying? So it's all, everything that we do when we receive these things, these gifts, these visions, edify, man. You see what I'm saying? Edify, and then you'll receive more, man. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes they're not always the prettiest, you know. But yeah, man, edify and you receive more, man. So that you can edify, man. Because every time you receive, it's really just to edify, man. You yield crops, and I'll liken it as to that, man. When you yield crops in this truth, man, you're not yielding crops for no reason, man. You're not yielding them to rot, man. When you're giving these crops, man, it's so that you can feed, man. See what I'm saying? If you are set up to yield more crops or to plow more, you know what I'm saying, or to have a larger yield, it's because you're supposed to feed more people, man. It's not to sit on them, man. See what I'm saying? It's not to show that you have more crops, because the crops, their purpose is to feed people. Otherwise, they rot, man. If you're not feeding anyone, and sitting on these crops is useless, man. See what I'm saying? So you have to feed people. Otherwise, the crops you receive are pointless, man. So even if you have a large yield, this is important, man. Even if you have a large yield, you see what I'm saying, or you receive a lot in this truth, man. If you're not edifying, then what's the point, man? So let me keep going, man. It says, yeah, man, and that's as far as like these visions, things like that you receive, man, which I'm starting to learn. You want to, because some may be afraid because they don't know how to interpret if it's a dream that they're just having, or if it's something that's of the scriptures, man. So just go to the spirit, man. If you can tie in the scriptures to what you're talking about, then just use it for edifying sake, man, for the sake of building people's spirits up, man. So yeah, let's keep going, man. Verse 12, it says, "Beloved, think it not strange concerning the fiery trial which is to try you, man, and as though some strange thing happened unto you, man." So as you come into this trial, man, into this truth, man, the Lord's going to introduce you into the spiritual realm, man. You see what I'm saying? Point blank, period, man. The things in the spiritual realm obviously aren't going to always be things that you see in this physical realm, because this realm is very, very simple, man. You see what I'm saying? I want to say it's like simple, but it's designed for its purpose, but it's not as complex as the spiritual realm, man. Not at all, man. See what I'm saying? And because of that, these things you see might freak you out, but really they're just natural occurrences, man. Like birds flying, man. But when you're introduced to them, it's just you take it as a gift, man. See what I'm saying? I'm not saying that I wish for all to see anything that I don't want to, because I never ask for that. But when it happens, man, take it. I don't know if that's the right term, with a grain of salt, but yeah, man. Let's see. Two more scriptures, and I'm gonna get up out of here. Let's see. It says, "But rejoice," verse 13, "inasmuch as ye are partakers of Mashiach's suffering," because he was suffering too, man, "so that when his glory shall be revealed, ye may be glad also with exceeding joy. If ye be reproached by the name of Mashiach, happy are ye, for the spirit of glory and of the Most High resteth upon you. And on their part he is evil spoken of, but on your part he is glorified." Let's go, champ, man. See what I'm saying? So on their part he's evil spoken of, but on our part he's glorified, man. See what I'm saying? Because it's in our spirits, man. So it's already set up, man, for the okie doke, man. See what I'm saying? We already know that YAHAWASHI is the truth, man. See what I'm saying? And I kind of want to get Hebrews, man. See what I'm saying? I might end up getting Hebrews 11 anyway, Salakia, so it's probably gonna end up being a little bit longer. But yeah, let me get this, and then I'm gonna close out, man. Yahawah Desire, you know what I'm saying? I've been going for about an hour. Let me stop this and then start again.